Life on Earth is comprised of countless different chemical compounds, but four classes of organic molecules reign supreme, those being carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. These have a wide variety of functions, from metabolism to structure to data storage. Each macromolecule consists of one or more monomers, which are the simplest unit in each class. When many monomers are chained together, they are called polymers. The first one we'll talk about is carbohydrates. These molecules consist of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, and are used mainly for metabolism. Glucose, for instance, is the body's chief source of energy and is used to create ATP, which powers the body. The three main monosaccharides are glucose, fructose, and galactose. These monosaccharides can pair up to form dimers like sucrose or table sugar, which is comprised of one glucose and one fructose, and lactose, the sugar found in dairy products, which is comprised of one glucose and one galactose. Carbs can also form polysaccharides, which are long chains of monosaccharides. Some common ones are amylose, the starch found in vegetables, glycogen, the stored form of glucose in the body, and cellulose, an indigestible, water-insoluble chain of glucose that gives plants their rigid structure. Some carbs, like deoxyribose and ribose, form the backbone of nucleic acids, which we'll discuss in a few minutes. Next up are lipids. These are nonpolar, hydrophobic compounds that have many functions in the body. The monomers for lipids are glycerol, the only water-soluble part of the molecule, and fatty acids, long chains of carbon with a carboxyl group at the end. One major class of lipids is triglycerides, which are mainly used as energy storage in the body, which you also know as fat. As the name implies, they are comprised of a glycerol molecule with three fatty acids attached, forming a polar head with a nonpolar tail. The fatty acid chains can be saturated, meaning they consist of only single-bonded carbons, or unsaturated, meaning they have one or more carbon-to-carbon double bonds in their structure. Phospholipids are similar compounds, but are comprised of only two fatty acids and have a phosphorus attached to the glycerol head. These form the semi-permeable membranes of the cells, and their unique structure allows them to keep out most large molecules while allowing gases to pass through. Steroids are another class of lipids, despite looking very different from triglycerides and phospholipids. They are used for cell signaling, like with testosterone and estrogen. They are derived from cholesterol, which, despite its bad reputation, is an essential molecule in the body. One of its main functions is keeping the cell membrane stable in different temperatures, by preventing phospholipids from bunching up in the cold and from separating when it gets hot. Proteins are next, and unlike carbs and lipids, they always have nitrogen in their structure. The monomers are known as amino acids, which consist of an amine group, a carboxyl group, and a side chain. There are 20 amino acids in the body, 11 of which are non-essential, meaning the body can make them itself, and 9 of which are essential, meaning the body cannot produce them, and thus they must be obtained through diet. And each of these amino acids has its own unique properties. Some are acidic, and some are basic, some are polar, and some are nonpolar. Long chains of amino acids form proteins, which are huge molecules that serve countless purposes in the body. Some, like hemoglobin, bond to oxygen, allowing red blood cells to oxygenate the cells in the body. Others, like enzymes, catalyze essential reactions in the body. One example is alcohol dehydrogenase, which converts ethanol to acetaldehyde. Others, like GABA receptors, serve as binding sites for hormones and are used to trigger changes within a cell. Proteins are basically microscopic machines that perform all the necessary duties within an organism. And last, but definitely not least, are nucleic acids. These nitrogenous compounds are used to store genetic information within the cell, and serve as the instructions for life. The monomers, called nucleotides, are comprised of a nitrogenous base, a saccharide, and a phosphate group. The sugar and phosphate form the backbone of nucleic acids, and the nitrogenous bases are used to store the information. There are two major nucleic acids in the body, DNA and RNA. DNA is a double helix formed by two chains of billions of nucleotides connected by weak hydrogen bonds. DNA consists of 4 different nucleotides: adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. Adenine bonds to guanine and thymine bonds to cytosine, and these bonds form the rungs of the latter. These huge molecules, which can be up to several meters long, store all the genetic information within a cell and determine how every cell functions. RNA is comprised of only one strand of nucleotides, with uracil replacing thymine, and is used to transport information to ribosomes, which use the instructions to build proteins. This is a super long and complicated process, which I'll probably discuss in another video. In a nutshell, the RNA is a negative copy of the reticular section of DNA known as a gene, and that negative copy codes for a particular protein, which the ribosome builds using that information. There are three types of RNA: messenger RNA, ribosomal RNA, and transfer RNA. Messenger RNA transfers the information from the nucleus to the ribosome. Ribosomal RNA binds with the ribosome and helps in protein synthesis. And transfer RNA brings amino acids to the ribosome to be assembled into proteins. This is just an overview of the four types of macromolecules. If you're looking for more in-depth research, try Scishow or Khanacademy. They do really good in-depth videos about these subjects, and they're also what helped me get through high school biology, so definitely go check them out. As always, thanks for watching.